It's a good world, good world gone bad.
Who cares that inventory is going up? Who cares that interest rates and unaffordability is going up? Who cares that demand is going down? Because we need to continue to spend. And here's the term of the year: spend to the end. Welcome back to Real Estate Mindset. Today's video is going to be absolutely bonkers. Now, the data is in, and the first thing I want to say is, remember when we go over these reports from Redfin, even when you hone into your local metro area, it's still macro data. If you guys really want to dig into your local housing market, because remember, all of the stats are about local housing markets, you really got to dig into subdivision and subdivision review. Now, I understand not all homes are in a subdivision, but most homes are, and that's generally the way to find whether or not you're getting a good deal and what's going on with the trends. And also remember this: the information we're going over today is regarding existing home sales. It is not new homes, okay? Because new homes is an entirely different video, an entirely different world right now, because new homes are plummeting in prices and supply is absolutely skyrocketing as well. And so today we're going to go into a wealth of data. We're going to look at Redfin's weekly housing market update, as well as other things like demand, just to gauge where we're at in the housing market this week. And it's going to be interesting to see what the elevated interest rates are going to start showing in the trends now that everything is greatly elevated. And do me a favor, if you guys can, if you learn something, hit like on the video, subscribe, shoot me a comment below. And also, if you have any intel and any insights, comment below. A lot of people read those comments. Don't forget to share your metro area. But again, if you learn something, hit like. Other than that, shoot me a bonkers below. Now, the name of this week's Redfin housing market update is monthly payments set new record and buyer's cost will likely stay high on inflation news. And you guys, we have some absolutely insane trends going on right now. I mean, wait until you start reading this. I mean, not only are housing payments at an all-time record, median sales price is about to hit a new record too, because we haven't hit a new record since 2022. FYI, a lot of people have said, including Dave Ramsey, that we have a new record with median sales price. That is false. But let's read the first paragraph. The median monthly U.S. housing payment hit an all-time high of $2,747 during the 4 weeks ending April 7th. Now that is up 11% from a year earlier. Housing payments are soaring because home prices and mortgage rates are high. The median home sales price is $378,250. That is up 4.5% year over year. And listen to this, this is just shy about $5,000 from the record high that was hit during June 2022. That's crazy. That's why I say people are spending to the end. And also, this could be that higher priced houses are the only ones that are being listed because there is no affordable housing. So it could be a combo. The average 30-year fixed rate, according to this article, is 6.82%, below the near 8% hit in October, but still more than double pandemic era lows. All right, now let's read their last little generally optimistic little paragraph from their agents that are in the field. So this is your boots on the ground little paragraph statement here. For home buyers, the latest CPI report means mortgage rates will stay higher for longer. I wonder, have we heard that before? I mean, is this a big surprise? Have you guys ever heard the term higher for longer? Or is this the first time you've watched this channel? I mean, seriously, why are they? Anyways, okay, higher for longer because it makes the Fed unlikely to cut interest rates in the next few months. Housing costs are likely to continue going down for the near future, but persistently high mortgage rates and rising supply could cool home price growth by the end of the year, taking some pressures off costs. Interesting. I mean, Redfin's going to be optimistic, do your thing, Redfin. Thank you for the data. And obviously, guys, this is not the full picture. What we really need is the public, in my opinion anyways, to have access to the MLS. If the public had access to the MLS, I could train them how to be beast mode buyers, also sellers, but primarily buyers. We need people to understand how to use the data, not the emotions. Regardless, the leading indicators, starting with interest rates. Now, they have the daily interest rate sitting at 7.34%. That's up from 6.52% year over year. So right now, interest rates are way higher. This is the type of restriction we needed during 2023. But remember, think back in time. This time last year, the bank term funding program was introduced, basically about a month prior. And that basically allowed liquidity in the banking sector as those bank runs started. You guys remember the bank runs last time we had? You guys remember that? Similar to the Great Depression? Bank runs, right? Very interesting stuff. But regardless, you guys are sitting at 7.34%. Now, from the date of the recording of this video, interest rates are sitting at actually 7.37%. I want you guys to also take note here that FHA is sitting at 6.75%. That is lower than 15-year conventional mortgages. Isn't that surprising to you guys? Also, I want you to remember, generally you can get a better deal shopping a broker versus a direct lender. Now, when we look at things like demand, starting with mortgage purchase applications, this is down a whopping 23% year over year. And we were already at his 1990 lows. So we're starting off 2024, even though it's spent to the end, at least we're starting off with sales in the gutter and getting even worse than last year. And 23% is substantial. Again, being how bad it was last year. Now, it's also saying Redfin home buying demand is down 6% year over year as well. Take a look at this data from Mortgage News Daily. This is really painting the picture of how low mortgage purchase applications are. Right now, the index is about 195. The last time we had 195, we haven't. I have to actually max this chart out and go all the way back to... Geez, you guys, look at this. What is this? January 24th, 1996, and it's getting worse. So demand, absolutely in the gutter right now. Now, we also see that when looking at existing home sales. So to the bulls, you can't say the housing market is strong. We know that we need more affordable housing. Yes, we also know that there's 15 million vacant homes. We know all of these things. But regardless, a lot of people aren't buying. There's still a lot of people buying. That's not good. But look at this, guys. We're sitting at right now 3.9 million. Okay, so we're under 4 million. Last time we were under 4 million was during the GFC, right about here in August of 2010. Now, prior to that, we had to go back again to the 1990s. So the fact that interest rates have remained elevated going into spring is a great thing for the housing market, and so long as we can stay elevated in the situation, this is exactly what we want. Now, I'm going to tell you guys what we don't want. We don't want some black swan to come in and the Fed to have to cut interest rates before we have a proper reset. And rather, and I hate to say this, unemployment. If they lower rates before unemployment or before some type of event happens, all of this may be for nothing. But even so, okay, even if this was all for nothing, 90% of Americans still can't afford the house, and therefore things are still not sustainable. Anyways, let's go back into the info. All right, y'all. So take a look at this week's winners and losers. Number one, Anaheim, usual suspect, Anaheim. Now, Anaheim's sitting at an increase year over year of 22%, followed by West Palm Beach, another usual suspect, massive year over year, quote unquote, growth right there at 17.4%. Pittsburgh at 15%, San Jose at 13.9%, New Brunswick at 13.9% as well, with only one metro area, which is San Antonio, sitting on the year-over-year price decline list. Texas is always in the... do you guys see why it's, for me, being in Texas, Houston, Texas, this is so easy for me to see. But regardless, you guys, San Antonio is down 1.7% year over year. I also want to bring this up, the fact that we didn't hit a new peak in median sales price last year. Okay, a lot of people are like, oh, the housing market rebounded, we're all good. Yes, there was a rebound. I think it was more of a dead cat bounce, and it was a beast, but we still didn't hit a new record. The record was essentially in May of 2022. We were sitting at 432,576. Okay, that was in 2022. Now, we peaked out in 2023 at 425,000. That was June of 2023. And for the remaining part of that year, you can see prior to that, actually, it was on the year-over-year decline list. Do y'all see that? So we started 2023 with homes down year over year. Okay, y'all see that? But again, what I'm saying is we did not hit a new peak. So not only are transactions in the gutter, we still didn't hit a new peak. Okay, so you can still argue that there's still no equity growth because it takes money to sell your house, roughly 8%, right? We get that as America. We know that, right? We get that by now. It costs money to sell your house. I mean, there's lawsuits about this. Everyone knows this by now. Comment below, please. Give me a bonkers as well if you haven't already. But comment below, okay? What are your thoughts on all this so far? Now, before I get into the charts, take a look at this, guys. This is new listings. Now, we want to keep our eye on new listings because we need inventory. In fact, I've been saying we need 900 to a million active units sustained, right? So for a period of time for prices to start going down again. At least that's my hypothesis based on the last 3 years and the price decline during that time. Now take a look at the new listings. This is insane. Although San Jose is blowing up apparently in median sales price, it's the new listings are freaking exploding, guys. 56.8% year over year. Wow. Okay, that's a so we should start seeing prices like flatten out or at least go down in San Jose, right? Look at the inventory. Now Sacramento's also on that list at 39%. Austin, you guys, Austin is going to be back on the year over year price decline list. The new listing surge in Austin, 30.7%, followed by Jacksonville, Florida at 30.5%, and Oakland, California at 30.4%. Keep your eyes on Austin and San Jose. I mean, seriously, guys, is this data not absolutely wild? Y'all see what I'm saying? Spend to the end. And yes, I am talking to you, 20-year-old Travis that lost everything during the GFC. Spend to the end. That's exactly what you did. It hurt. It hurt to say that. It hurt to say that. Let's move on to data visualization. All right, guys. So starting with median sales price, this is bananas. Now remember, you guys, we still didn't hit this record here. Okay, so this is the record. Okay, this record was from 2022. So year over year, we still haven't hit that new record. Bulls. Okay. Now again, I constantly say this. Some people could still find a good deal in this market. You got to use data. You got to have patience. All these things. We discuss this all the time on Discord. But regardless, you guys, look at the trajectory. Week over week, this trajectory is nutso. Now, again, this is demonstrating there are still people purchasing, but it also can be the fact that we just don't have lower end houses on the market. They get scooped up before the more expensive houses. Now, I don't know that for sure. I'd have to dig in more, but regardless, this son of a gun is skyrocketing in the face of interest rates being in the 7% again. And that's why I'm saying we need more active units, around 900 to a million. Now, remember, this in 2022, this period that I'm circling, we had massive price decline that exceeded the GFC. Okay. During this period of time, we had roughly 900K active units. So that's why I'm saying it will be interesting to see if we can get to that amount again, but unlike 2023, sustain it. Okay, that's what I'm saying. We've already seen what happens when we don't sustain it. The market rebounded. Obviously, I don't think that can go on forever because of the unaffordability, but nevertheless, median sales price is up 4.5%, and that is year over year. Now, here's why I think it could be less affordable houses on the market and more expensive houses on the market, because median asking prices skyrocketed week over week. And remember, this data we're looking at is week over week data, but we can also compare year over year, year over year, over year over year. But the trajectory of these lines is all week over week. Some people don't get that still. It's crazy to me, but look at that trajectory. And that's why I'm thinking like maybe it's the more expensive houses are being listed and the less affordable ones are just not being listed. Either way, that is an alarming trajectory and it doesn't make sense. And I'll show you that as we move along here. But that is up 6.5% year over year. That's insane. Now take a look at this doozy. We hit a new record high, unfortunately. And actually, this is fortunately, I think that the market needs this because the market needs to calm down. Even though it's all the sales, everything record low, there's still some people buying, and I'm talking to those people. But home buying and housing payments right now, year over year, which is here to here, because it was already so unaffordable last year. So unaffordable last year. But year over year is even higher by 11.3%. We basically need home prices to go down about 60%. Okay, I think or we need to make 40% more in income, or rates need to be 2%. And that's why I'm saying this whole foundation is not going to last. It's built on emotion. It's built on emotion, you guys, and a lack of supply, a manipulated, really synthetic lack of supply. It was a manipulated situation. Okay, it's artificial lack of supply because of the lockdown and the money printing. But regardless, unaffordability is king right now. And look at, again, when we look at 3 years ago, look at that from here to here, okay, that's insane. It was about $1,600. Okay, so 3 years ago, we were about down here, about $1,600. It's $1,100 more every single month. That's take-home money. That's not gross, okay? Your gross income is before taxes. That's out of your net income. This is harsh. This is harsh right here. And that's what I'm saying. Hold up, okay? And if you are going to buy, for the love of God, please use some fundamentals to survive through a recession that we haven't even started. Although when you look at deficit spending, we've been in a recession since about 2020. I won't go there. Let's move on. Now, here's a data set where I think we're finally starting to see those 7% interest rates shock the market. Basically, the market hitting the wall. That's in pending sales, okay? So again, another demand matrix. And look at the trajectory. Look at that. It's like it hit a brick wall and is now going down. Now, unlike some of the stuff that we just went over, this is absolutely great news. Why? Because this is the opposite of seasonality taking over this trend. Remember, guys, we are going in and now in spring home buying season. So generally this time of year, pending sales go up. They don't go down, but that's exactly what you see here. And that's why, and it was a little bit abrupt, you can see that. And that's why I'm saying, I think we are seeing the 7% interest rate start to rattle the market. But obviously, this is all lagging data. We need more time to tell. But again, I mean, 7% rates, the home price, almost a new record. I mean, come on. Obviously, the market hit a brick wall. And its name is first name interest rates, last name home price. That's why there's unaffordability. Just saying. Let's move on. Here's new listings. Also very, very good information, you guys. New listings, 14% year over year. This is good. This means that it is working. Still slow. I know everyone's like, my gosh, this is slow. Everything's taking so much time, but it does take time. Unfortunately, the housing market is not the stock market. So we're up 14.1%, but we're still under 2022 and 2021. Just wanted to make that point. We're headed in the right direction, but don't forget, there's still that golden handcuff effect. So this is great growth. And meanwhile, understand we still have that golden handcuff effect. So when those rates do go down, that will be met depending on how they go down and the circumstances at which they do drop rates. Depending on all that, we will have more inventory from low rates because there's a net difference, which means not everyone that sells their house buys a new one. The last report I read was a 30% net difference. This is also some great news right here. This is active listings of homes for sale. We are up 8%, y'all, year over year. And this is a 4-year high for this time of year. So this is actually really, really good news. Up 8% year over year. Again, sitting at 819. So we're at 819,000. Again, this is where I think we need to be. So we need to be right over here because during this period right here, okay, is when we had prices go down and go down faster than normal seasonality and faster than the GFC. Before anyone starts playing the seasonality card, I've already looked at all that info. Okay. We need more inventory. Bottom line. Now, I don't like it kind of balanced out right now. What we want to see is we want to see the same thing that happened in 2022 from this time to this time where active units skyrocketed. Okay. So the fact during the last 2 weeks, it's been a plateau. That's not something that we want to look at. Now, but now look at months of supply. Okay, months of supply, we're sitting at 3.2 months. Everyone should know by now we need about 6 months for the market to technically consider it a buyer's market. I think we just need to sustain 4 to 5 months. Just sustain that and we'll have our price discovery. But regardless, you guys, it has plateaued versus going down. This is good, but again, we want it to go up. Normally, it's going to start going up right around July. Okay, so if it can go up before then, that's a win for the housing market. in my opinion. This is also another data set where I see the housing market hit a brick wall from the interest rates. Pending sales under contract in 2 weeks. So that's 43% of pending sales, okay, which means pretty much demand. Now, again, look at the trajectory. It's like it hit a brick wall, right? And normally, again, this time of year, normally, we're in spring, right? Normally it goes up. So the fact that it's going the opposite trajectory should tell us this is good. These are great things. We just need to hold right now. We need to hold where we're at. And these trends should continue to do the opposite of normal seasonality. Now, another lagging set of data, you guys, 28% of homes sold above final list price. That's almost a 4-year low. We still want this under 2023. We're kind of right at it. You kind of can see that right there. But again, we want this down. We want things to be on the market for longer, because the longer they sit on the market, generally, the more likely it is for sellers to start cutting the prices on their homes. Here's another great set of data, you guys. Again, opposite of normal seasonality, which the prices going up like that doesn't make sense to me, because the price drops and price cuts are exploding. The opposite of normal seasonal trends, you guys. Normally, we don't have this type of price cuts. We're sitting way up here at 5.8%. Again, we don't usually have this type of price cuts until we're all the way over here going into fall and winter. So thank God the interest rates are high right now in the 7%, because we can see it affecting the data. Now, we need to hold this, though. We don't want to be in 7% for like 2 weeks and then go back to 6%. We need to stay here. That's my point. This is great as long as we stay here. We need to get through spring and summer home buying season. Also shows here, you guys, Redfin home buying demand is down. So again, great news, down 6%. You can see that here year over year. But also, this is a 4-year low for this time of year. So another set of data that we like. But again, what do we not like? We don't like waiting. We don't like being patient, but that's exactly what we should be doing, because we don't want to be like the young Travis that lost everything, that spent to the end. We want to save right now. We want to rebudget. If I could talk to my old self, first of all, I'd tell a lot of things to my old self, but one of those things would be just rebudget. Rebudget, change your spending habits 6 months before you lost everything, and I would be a completely different man. I'd be a millionaire right now, you guys, but I didn't. I spend to the end, and I lost everything, and it is what it is. I don't want that to happen to you. That's all I'm saying. Do me a favor again. If you learned anything, hit me a like. Don't forget, shoot me a bonker, shoot me some intel, and if you're out there investing in real estate, you guys already know I wish you luck, and I hope you win.